Hi everyone, I'm Robin Sewell, and this is our first stop on our ultimate destination, the Grand Canyon. Who knew that erosion could reveal such beautiful life? A mile deep and up to 18 miles wide, it is a hole in the ground that has captivated explorers and visitors like no other. Carved out by 277 miles of the Colorado River, the Grand Canyon exposes nearly 2 billion years of geological history. Today, the Grand Canyon National Park is one of the world's premier natural wonders, attracting about 5 million visitors every year. But it's more than just standing and looking over the railing, snapping a few pictures, and then going home and telling everyone, yep, I saw it. The Grand Canyon is an experience. While there's no right or wrong way to do it, there are certainly options. You can hike it, bike it, mule ride it, or take the train. But before you decide, we have to make a stop. At Grand Canyon Village on the South Rim. It's your starting point for lodging, transportation, shopping, and your first glimpse of the canyon. The village is just over 13 square miles. About 2,000 people live here year-round. It's home to a rich past and present, from historic buildings dating back to the turn of the 20th century to modern hotels and conveniences. Grand Canyon Village serves as a host city, your very own base camp, allowing you to go out and explore the canyon as it is and as it was. Now, let's check out some of our options. The Grand Canyon Railway started bringing some of its first official visitors to the canyon in 1901. Since then, it's been a magical time machine. All aboard!
The Grand Canyon Railway, it's like, being in the past.
Trains were a big thing on the East Coast. Wonderful travel, and it was different from going on a plane or a car. You got to talk to people. It was very social.
The Grand Canyon Railway was originally built to transport ore from the Anita Mine, 45 miles north of Williams. But tourism proved to be the real gold investors were looking for. Today, hundreds of thousands of passengers take the train every year.
We made the trip several years ago, enjoyed it enough to come back and do it a second time. This time a little more first class than the first time.
And what better way to travel the 65 miles of track from Williams to the Grand Canyon than in comfort with a side of champagne?
Who wants to sit down?
During the winter season, hot chocolate and cookies are served as the train transforms into the Polar Express.
Merry Christmas!
Bringing the children's classic to life as it transports you to the North Pole. While being on a train may bring out the kid in all of us, it's this train's destination that has sparked curiosity for generations.
The Grand Canyon is so spectacular. It really is, as someone said, if you have to describe it, you haven't been there.
From steel wheels to inflatable, and a more up-close and personal way to experience the Grand Canyon South Rim. But before you hit the trail, at Bright Angel Bicycles and Cafe, you can fill up and fuel up. But this isn't your ordinary convenience store. And you probably won't find this kind of grab-and-go grub at your local gas station.
The different products that we carry are going to be gluten-free, vegan, so stuff that is really good for you, because there's something that the National Park Service started a few years ago called Healthy Parks, Healthy People. And so we're really starting that effort to make sure that everything that we carry in the store also follows in line with that.
And you might notice, no soda machine. They just got rid of it.
We're just getting ready to change over some of our product to actually contain pure cane sugar instead of a high fructose corn syrup, because we don't want that kind of a product to what we offer our clients here in the store.
You'll also notice no bottled water. That's because it's not allowed to be sold in the national park, but you can refill your own drink containers or buy one of theirs to fill up.
A primary thing that the National Park Service asks us to do is reduce, reuse, recycle. So that's a huge effort. So you will see recycle bins all throughout our store. And we've also reduced our plastic waste this year by going down to one specific cup that does both hot and cold for us as well too.
267.
So, high fructose corn syrups and plastic bottles, bad. Caffeine and locally sourced food, good.
We do full lattes, cappuccinos, you name it, we can do it. And then all of our food, basically, from our roast beef sandwiches to our vegetarian hummus wrap, actually comes from a company that's locally done in Flagstaff called 789.
And in case you forgot something, the cafe stocks your biking and hiking essentials. Since many of the bike trails aren't accessible by car, owner Wes Neal says 2 wheels is all you need.
We're a little biased here, but it's a great way to get out and for the visitor to really have an intimate experience on their own, be able to get away from kind of the hustle and the bustle here at the visitor center and at the village, and just get out and go have that quiet time.
Pedaling also helps preserve the park for the next generation, giving their recycle efforts a dual meaning.
Riding bikes along the rim is helping to preserve Grand Canyon's sustainability and future going forward for future generations, and helping to support that park mission, which is to preserve and to protect this and this park for this generation and future generations to come. It's a unique experience, I think, as far as a way to see Grand Canyon. It really connects people with the land, and with they can stop and maybe see wildlife closer, or stop and see a beautiful flower or whatnot, versus auto or by plane or by even mule. Sometimes they only maybe let you off, but this way you can stop and really have that experience yourself.
I don't think I've ever had a bike ride this spectacular in my life.
Yeah, no, it's and you haven't even done the full thing. This is really actually just our starting point.
Even if you don't ride the rim, you can get a t-shirt that says you did.
The Hermit Road is the most popular ride that we have here.
This is so beautiful.
Hermit Road runs 5.5 miles one way with a drop of more than 400 feet.
95% downhill all the way down to Hermit's Rest.
The historic route was carved out by early pioneers, then improved by the Santa Fe Railroad.
And then the park's done a great job of building a trail system that lets people join in off the road and go onto what's known as the Greenway.
So would you describe it as a scenic adventure?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a scenic adventure. It's a way to get out and feel more intimate as you ride along the rim and have your own experience.
That's a great way to describe it. It has kind of an intimate feel to it.
Yeah, the Greenway Trail system is a real gem of the park now.
And the views are breathtaking. We start off at Hopi Point, then leisurely head west for 5.6 miles, stopping at lookouts along the way.
Okay, so tell me, what is this point we are at right here?
This is Hopi Point. It's the start of our guided tour. Visitors that want to come up here and they're a little bit, haven't ridden a bike in a while, or if the elevation's kind of getting to them, we can shuttle them up here. This is kind of the top of the hill, the high point here. They can ride downhill. It's 95% downhill. One little hill, we have to earn it a little bit, but along the
little exercise.
Yeah, it's a great way to get the family out, keep the family together. Little kids, get tired, but not. It's just long enough where everyone can enjoy it.
I don't know whether or not I'm enjoying riding the bike or I'm enjoying seeing the scenery.
It's that combination. I think you get on, you get the wind in your hair, and then you can't help but just to look around. And so that's kind of even why we chose this style of bike. It gets the bars up, You know, it's not a true mountain
Right,
bike.
not like this.
Yeah, exactly. Get you up where you're, you know, you're riding in more of an upright position and get you looking. You know, because this is what we're here. We're here to see.
So what do most
Grand
people
Canyon.
say to you when they're on the bike and they see a vista like this?
I think
You're laughing. Why
Yeah.
are you laughing?
Well, because we try to go for a wow. I think, you know, I know with our guided tours, our goal is to try and at least hear one wow.
I would bet you
on the
get
trip.
more than just one wow.
Typically, just pulling
I
here to
would
Hobie
say that
Point, you get a wow.
100% are wows.
Yeah. And
Because
that-
I'm going to say wow right
Yeah.
now.
Well, the star is Grand Canyon, absolutely. You know,
Really? It's not me?
And it has been. It's not any of us. It's going to be here long after we're all gone, and so it just continues to do its thing and inspire generations to come. And so it's been good for us.
Well, let's go ride. What is this point?
This looks down as a Pima Point under Grand Rapids.
Look at that. That's gorgeous. So that's the Colorado River right there.
From the rim, looking down where we stand.
Well, because if this is the
That
bottom,
would be the bottom, correct.
so you have to be
exactly.
somewhere up here.
So yeah, so we're actually up here. This
Okay.
is Pima Point. So that just gives you some perspective because here is that point right there, that pinnacle that's just down below us. That's this one. So that's looking from the bottom. It gives you some perspective of just how deep that canyon is.
You know what's so remarkable about the Grand Canyon is that you can go around the rim, you can bike around the rim, and every view has a different perspective.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, some people would think, oh, it's all the same, but it's really not the same because it's kind of the way the light and shadows hit it, or it's the, you know, the view, or it's the Colorado River, but something is different wherever you go. Why are you so passionate about the canyon after all these years?
It does something to you. You know, it's words can't, maybe we don't have enough time to maybe describe the full thing, but it really grabs a hold of you, and you know, these just dramatic landscapes. You know, I mean, here in Arizona, we're so blessed to have this natural wonder right in our backyard.
We are.
Where we can go and just anytime you want.
I mean, that is just so awe-inspiring. I mean, I know that's cliche, but how else do you describe the canyon?
As grand. It is the Grand Canyon.
After a 6-mile bike tour, I'm ready for a little R&R. This is the Grand Hotel, nestled in the town of Tucson, just a mile from the Grand Canyon South entrance. While one of the more modern hotels in the area, the Grand still has a romantic, Old West feel to it.
The Grand Hotel can be described best as having rustic elegance with all the modern features of a high-end hotel.
It's a theme reflected throughout the architecture of the hotel, from the rooms to the restaurant and saloon.
What makes the Grand Hotel stand out from the rest of the hotels here in the canyon is the architecture itself. It's reminiscent and emulates a Grand Lodge that you would see in the mountains, and that architecture comes inside.
A huge stone fireplace greets you as you arrive, and the grand staircase helps guide you up to your room.
The staircase is made out of log beams, and it takes you up to the mezzanine level on the second floor.
There are a total of 3 floors with more than 120 guest rooms and suites, many with their own balcony. And the Grand is the only hotel in the area with an indoor pool. And while you may be hiking and biking, you don't have to sustain on trail mix and Gatorade.
We have a Canyon Star Steakhouse. We have a bar that features the largest selection of draft beer in the area, as well as the largest variety of liquor.
Southwestern hospitality with what the Grand calls a softer footprint.
Legendary hospitality with a softer footprint goes back to the Fred Harvey days around the turn of the century, where he brought hospitality out to the west along the Santa Fe Railroad.
The softer footprint references their environmental initiatives, from water conservation and recycling to LED lighting and energy-efficient appliances. But, you know, let's be honest, it's this environment that draws visitors in the first place.
One never gets tired of the views because they literally change all day long and the views are different every single day.
And a great place to relax after a long day of soaking up the views. If you prefer to stay even closer, El Tovar back at the Grand Canyon Village is, if not a must-stay, a must-see. Opened in 1905, it was designed as a Swiss hunting lodge and was considered one of the fanciest hotels west of the Mississippi, with electricity, phones, and running water. The likes of Teddy Roosevelt and Zane Grey have slept here, but you can simply stop for breakfast or dinner, or just sit in the Hunter's Lodge surrounded by the original taxidermy. Or you can head out to the porch for a front row view of the canyon.
You can't take the Grand Canyon home with you, but you can take a souvenir, or two, or even three. A great place to shop is the historic Hopi House. Let's go.
Hopi House is the first and largest gift store at the Grand Canyon, and the building itself is as much a work of art as the work it houses. It was designed by architect Mary Coulter to closely resemble a traditional Hopi pueblo, not only aesthetically, but physically. The step structure is made of sandstone. Interior walls are plastered with adobe, and the ceilings are made of saplings, twigs, and grass covered with mud. The stairway to the second floor is decorated with murals by an unknown Hopi artist. When it opened in 1905, Native American artisans worked on site and sold their works. Today, the second floor's Native American art gallery features traditional and contemporary arts and crafts, including pottery, rugs, and jewelry. I guess you can take a little piece of the canyon home with you.
Get your right and hold them up, and we'll come and collect, just like the IRS. Quiet lady, or I'll shoot you. Where's your allowance money?
Don't you worry, I'm hot on the trail. All right. Which way they go? Which way? Did they bother you, ma'am? Not too bad. They scare you at all? Well, here, you go get them. I'll get them. I'm not putting up with this foolishness. Push the button, lady. I'm chasing robbers. I'll get them. I'm hot on their trail. Now we're going to rob each and every one of them. Oh, no, Bandits, please don't. Take my life. I need my money.
Where are the horses?
Today's not my day to tie him up, Pappy.
Let's just blend in. Marshal H. Oh, you hold it right there. Give me that 6-shooter. You got the paper upside down. Hold it right there. You get up there with him. Come on out of there, you farmer.
How did you find me?
Let's go. Get moving. Get moving. I told you I'd get him.
Remember that simple 3-letter word, wow? You may find it's the only one you can come up with once you see the Grand Canyon, whether it's the first time or the 100th time. You may be left speechless.
This is the ultimate postcard from the edge. One picture says it all. So how do you put such majestic beauty into words? You don't. You just have to come here and experience it. Thanks everyone so much for joining us. I'm Robin Sewell, and we'll see you on the next Arizona Highways.